Ah, Ohio. Well, we arrive in this state. Pretty big. I consider it a landlocked state because it doesn't have an opening to the sea or the ocean. It's a lake, but no, it's still a landlocked state. Well, what can I say about them? The flag is pretty weird, I have to say. It kind of reminds me more of Puerto Rico than just the United States, but it's their flag, so I'm not gonna comment too much on that. And now I see a bit of Japan here, but again, that's a different discussion. The seal, it's clearly black and white, and for some reason has nothing to do with the flag like the other states, so I guess it is what it is. What I'm interesting, it's Columbus is the capital, so I have that's probably it's pretty well developed. Let's say largest metro area and urban state. It's Cincinnati Metro and Columbus also. So pretty good, pretty good. What I'm interested in, look at this. The governments, it's Republican. The governor is Republican. So it's more of the Republican state. Pretty interesting. Look at this. Elevation is 260 meters, and the highest elevation is 472. The lowest elevation, again, is not opening to the sea or the ocean, 139 meters. Thus, the lake, it's higher elevation than the sea or the ocean. So it's pretty interesting, I would say. Population, almost 12 million people, and the seventh in the ranking by population in the United States. Neutral increase, so not that much. Median household income, again, we're going with this nonsense, but again, it's 2023 here, it's around $67,000. So by now, probably it's around 75, usually divided by 2, so that's kind of have a rough idea. Probably again, it's after taxes, it's 36 on the rank, so not exactly a rich state, but we will see how well they doing there. Official language, none, then say. Okay, but spoken languages like English, 93%, Spanish, again, 2.2%, and 4.5% other languages. What can we say? What can we see about them? Well, they have some sort of a gathering here that it doesn't refuse to load, for this weird reason that Google Chrome doesn't seems to work that well lately. What else can we see here? We have, yeah, that's kind of the way it's positioned. We have some old photos here of the independence, I guess, or that they joined the Union, the United States of America, for God's sake. Border with Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia. Okay, not that much interesting there. They have some first standard oil refinery. Okay, so I guess they have pretty good, decent in the oil industry, 20th centuries. Again, pretty nice. Geography can have opening to the lake, so that's open a lot of possibilities. Nice rivers. We're gonna see in a minute how the road it's doing. Some weird fish animal there. Climate, wow, they are divided in multiple climate, humid and subtropical here in the south. Even oceanic, they say. I don't see any oceanic here, but not that much. And hot summer, humid continental. And warm summer, humid continental. Okay, so you have something variety, let's say, to choose. If you somehow, for whatever reason, you wanted to move away in Ohio. Population 1800s 45,000. Now it's like I say 12 million. They slows down the increase in population, but again, back in the 1950s there used to be like 8 million people. So now a huge amount of increase, but still they are on the up trajectory. 75% whites, buddy, and 12% Africans alone in total. I have no idea what they make those two claims. So like 79 and 14. Hispanic and Latino 4.4%, Asian 3.1, Native Americans, for God's sake, from 0.2 for whatever reason now to 1.7, which is pretty good, I guess, for them. Pacific Islanders, no idea what the fuck they're doing here. 0.04, now it's 0.1, so it's a huge increase. Others from 0.4 to 1.2. Yeah, I guess they kind of stable in a way. I don't know. So whites alone, 2000 was around 9.5 million people. Now they are around, where is it, 2020, the last one, 8.9 million. So it's a decrease in population, as you can see. Black increased slightly, not that much. Native going down too from 2000. Asian alone, they got up almost like most more than double. Pacific Islanders, again, no idea what the fuck those guys doing here, but nevertheless they are here. They have a slightly increase. Other race, obviously, is gonna be an increase. Mexicans, they have a huge increase, and Hispanic, Latino, whatever the fuck, mixed. Oh sure, mixed race have an increase in population, and Hispanic, which is like Mexico, also a huge increase. Which is not that exactly much huge difference between mixed and Hispanic. So we have a pretty decent information about the race there. 40% Protestants, 18% Catholics, unaffiliated 30% Jews, 2% of the Jews living in Ohio, for God's sake, are Jews. Hinduism 1%, and others, the rest of the 3%. The economy, nice building here. I have some sort of, again, military base there that they are somehow put it in a economy. I don't know exactly. Cuisine, ooh, pasta. I guess a lot of migrants from Italy back in the good old days. Sports, nice stadium here. What else can I look? Another one. That's pretty good. College sport. For some reason, it's big in America and Europe. Not even close. Have some interesting, nice buildings here and there. Again, politics. Watch this, buddy. Unaffiliated. Wow, that's pretty interesting. 71% unaffiliated. So pretty good. Pretty good. Republicans 18% and Democrats 10%. But this unaffiliated is pretty interesting. And yeah, clearly more Republican state. Education system. I don't care where you're going in this world. It's always crap those days. Transportation and roads seems to do pretty well. We're gonna see about that. The rail, again, nice, pretty decent road infrastructures, nice cable cars. I mean, like, that's pretty nice. It's a modern one, not that appealing to me, I would say. The classical old good fashioned one like they have in San Francisco, much better, but this one, is better than nothing. So now let's see how those guys truly live in goddamn Ohio, buddy. I guess this is the main cities, judging by the way they looking from above. So let's start exactly there for a change. Let's see how those guys look at the airport. And I want to start right here in the middle of those houses. So this is what? June 2025, very recently. And we start pretty good. I like when I see a golf cart. It means it's a nice neighborhood for sure. And indeed it is a nice neighborhood. I mean, look at this. This is for sale, by the way, in case you're interested. I mean, it's a nice, cute house. I mean, look at it. That's a really nice American house, I would say. Nothing fancy, but a really nice neighborhood. I mean, I like those houses. For whatever reason, it's a Jew living here. I assuming that's a Jewish flag, but I don't know. Let me check again. Maybe it's not a Jewish flag. You have that. No, it's a star. I think it's like yellow. Usually, it's supposed to be like full blue, but I don't know. Maybe it's a Jewish house. What else can we find here? I'm not sure exactly what those arrows signified. I guess a cross. For pedestrians, a bump. Doesn't seem like a bump that much, but fine. Some sort of a weird bags here. Again, the housing, I really like it. It's just nice, cute, small ones. This one the same. I think this is I'm not sure. What exactly are those? Are the HVAC systems? They're the AC system, the heat pump. What is it? It does in Europe look like a heat pumps, but I don't think they have heat pumps that much in the US. Ooh, look at those cars here. Again, not exactly an ideal way to keep your car, but it's better than keep it on the street, I guess, or have a garage inside the house like those guys. Ooh, these guys seem some rough days here. It looks like an abandoned house. I don't know. But overall, it's a nice neighborhood. Another open Saturday. I don't think it's like a church or something, but clearly it's not for sale for sure. At least supposed to be like an open house, right? Looks pretty nice anyway. What else can we find here? Well, anything we look is pretty nice. Have a decent space, uh, decent wide of the road. The space between the houses, not so much, I have to say, but somehow it kind of works here, you know, because the houses are small and they're pretty similar to each other, I would say. This one, not exactly a great one, I would say, but this one looks a bit better, have a bit more shape to it, a bit more, you know, nostalgia. That's a nice, old, good-fashioned Toyota. So far, we start pretty good. Let's check other neighborhoods because I don't want to make those videos so long, but it's so much to see and I cannot make it shorter. It's just, I want to see everything. This one seems like middle income to low income neighborhood. I don't know, but look at those cars. This guy has a Dodge Ram in the red color, and this guy has a Dodge Ram in a yellow color. Now, I don't think this is the V10 version. I think I remember they make a V10 SRT or something like that. And this one is like a double cab, which is not exactly a real truck. This one is a single cab, which is more closer to a real truck. But what is this? Hornet. I'm not sure. This is a Chinese car. It's a Porsche Macan. What is this? Or the American version of both. Could be the American version of both. Let's focus more on the neighborhood. Oh, look at those trucks here. Kind of a trucks. This is what, 2014 here. Bit older street view, but even back then they used to look pretty nice. I mean, you know, pretty good neighborhood. Not that much trees, unfortunately, but it's a classic American neighborhood. Let's call it like that. Now it's 2019, just shy of the pandemic. Again, look at this. How much is the garage here and how much is the house? It's just the ratio. It's wrong, and that guy should have some work done to his house to improve his living space, for God's sake, not his car space. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but the yards are pretty small from what I can see, so I assuming it's one of those more new neighborhoods that were built, let's say, after 1990, maybe after 2000. It just kind of jam everyone together in a small spaces, and I don't like it, I have to say. This one a bit more airy, let's call it like that, but they don't have that much trees. They have a few, which is looking pretty nice, but they have room for more. And we see other neighborhoods across the country, across the United States, and we see a better version of them with more trees. Those are some kids that are playing outside. That's pretty nice to see. This guy is a bit fat, but probably is gonna do some workout here. And this guy is trimming the lawn, which is pretty good, looking very nice. They do a good job. They do a good job. I'm not sure exactly what the fuck happened here. Why they have this huge amount of concrete here? I don't know. It looks a bit weird, but I like this bike motorcycle here. They have a garage cleaning and another motorcycle there. I mean, it looks pretty nice. I mean, like growing up on a street like that, not so bad. Not so bad. What else can we see here? Let's go in the north part of the city. And this one, I can already see they have much more trees. And we are in Sweden for whatever reason. They have the Swedish flag right here. A bit strange, but I guess it is okay. You have the American flag there. If you show me this one, yeah, that's Sweden right there. But no, it's Columbus, Ohio. It's not Sweden. And yeah, living in Sweden for Columbus, Ohio, I guess. I guess it's better than Sweden. Again, oh, I like those small barns. Look at this, how nice they are. Very classic, very traditional, very nice. Much better. I mean, I would like a garage like that than something this more modern one. We have a Subaru here with the quad exhaust, a VRX model, really nice car. The STI version, I don't think it's kind of overkill, you know, I think in my opinion. The VRX one is just more than enough. That's what I think. The VRX STI is way too more. Here we have an abandoned house, but it's kind of unfortunate because it looks pretty nice. Definitely has better days. The road here not so well. We have some mailboxes here and have like a private lane, no trespassing. So I guess the Google Street View car stops right here. Not exactly the rich area that I was hoping to see, but this one I don't think they're that rich because you know they have like property are pretty close to each other. But again, it's a nice street to live on. I mean, look at this, looking pretty good. We have the American flag right there, a nice house. Again, the garage inside the house, not my favorite things to see. I'm not sure exactly how the Americans. I mean, I get it, they trim their lawns, but they obtain such a nice one. I'm not sure. We're trying that in Europe and it doesn't seem to work. So they must have some tricks that they don't tell us. Otherwise, I don't see it how they can manage to do that well. Back in the good old days, as you can see here in 2015, a nice end of the street, dead end, looking pretty nice. I mean, like, can you imagine, just for a second, living in this house, for example, or this one, and pretty much have the entire street, look at it, they already have it, have the entire street for yourself. That's a really nice place to grow up. That's genuinely a really nice place. And look at this, even today, they have a hockey, I guess. They're playing hockey there on the street, but it looks pretty nice. It does. I mean, look at this, how much improves with those trees, and you can imagine you have even more of those, how nicer it would look. And this is August 2022, so I'm assuming they have pretty warm summers here. So yeah, I like this guy yard. You can see it's not just grass like others. It's just they have a bit of variety. There are just some 4 nice plants there. I mean, it looks better, don't you agree? I think it's a better. And look at the house. I mean, like I like those lines. It's nicer. It's nicer than this one. Is pretty nice with that porch above it. That's really good too. This one not so much. As you can see, the differences between a really nice one, even better one, and something that's pretty basic and generic. Doesn't look so well. Ooh, another one. This feels more like a Germanic style. I mean, like we see that Swedish flag. I'm assuming that they have some sort of migrants from Europe in this part of the state, let's call it like that, and that's why we see such a nice architecture in some houses. Ooh, this one is also pretty nice too. I mean, overall, pretty good so far. And again, it's so much we can see. Let's go even more. Let's go outside, real outside here of this main town. And yeah, you can see it already. Ooh, I like those Delco water. That looks pretty nice. Again, probably works a lot to trim this lawn that much. I mean, like, that's sort of tradition here. And we have some interesting cars here also. House, pretty basic, I would say, but look at the land, how nice it is. Probably that's how it's going here. See, we have so much land and looking so nice. I mean, those guys are pretty rich here, but judging by the house, you not say. You're not that much interested in outside the house or the house itself. Just we have so much nice land, you kind of like that. You want to spend the time outside, not inside. Because we have a lot of outside, I guess. It's a 2024 Trump here, right there, buddy. This is what? This is July 2024. So take America back. So yeah, he's back in the office. Back in the days they didn't know it. I can confirm now. Trump, it is back in the office. The house, not so much. And another things that I kind of don't understand. I don't know how many people are living in this house, but look how many trash cans they have. Why they have 4? I mean, here in Europe we have like a 3, maybe 4 person in a house. We have 1 trash can, and that's it. And even that you cannot. Maybe 2. 1 for generic ones, which is like always half empty at all time, and then the recycle one. Okay, maybe 2, but they're a different kind of them. The road here is narrow, which is pretty well done. It's nice for those small communities. You don't need a wider one. It makes everything looks much more comfortable, much more personalized. Let's call it like that. It looks pretty nice, I have to say. I like it. That's more like the America that I want to see, to be honest. That's how I... Oh, look at those small barns again, looking pretty good. That's a nice Hyundai. That's a pretty good car. Pretty nice. Again, those... See how empty it looks like? I mean, like, you might say at first, like, look very minimalized, looking very nice, very interesting, but it doesn't. It will look 10 times better with all of this yard pretty much on the side full of trees and the house a bit more, let's say, personality. And now you have a home. Now we have a real home, I would say. Look how much space it robs from the house, the garage. Again, I have to point that out every time I see it. It's just the way it works with me. But look at this, a nice driveway, a nice house, pretty decent tree here, a few more would not hurt. If all this land is to this guy, oof, I will put like a bunch of trees here and make like a pool and a fireplace, anything here. It will look much better, much better. For some reason, Americans, they truly love their basketball. I mean, again, in Europe, not a big deal at all. But for some reason, they are like a really nice sports there. But I don't know. I don't see that many. I mean, like when you go to those, the most popular sports, even in the US, I'm not sure if that, like a football probably is the first one, and then like hockey, and then basketball. So I don't know, maybe tennis also doing pretty well there. What is this? This is 2024 July, and we have an interesting house that is not exactly that well maintained, but we have like at least 3 cars and a fourth one right there that I'm not sure if even it's working anymore. But look at this. Even in this low income area, the roads is very nice. The front lawns are very nice. This small fence here, and look at the land there. Very nice. So even those, it looks like a low income area, I have to say. It doesn't seem to be like the richest of the rich that are living here. But it's still looking pretty good. They're farmers probably, I will assume, but they're looking pretty nice. It is genuinely pretty nice. And 2019 before pandemic, look at it, it's a nice house, American flag right there. Like you get like $20 a year if you have the American flag, which is a pretty good deal, I guess. Getting paid to have the flag. Not so bad. Here we have a more like city community, let's call it like that. Those houses reminds me again of Scandinavian style houses, and the color could be, we never know, we don't know, but it looks pretty nice, I have to say. Oh, I want to check this road here. Doesn't seem to be that well paved, and you can see we have a lot of potholes here, but still functional road. At least they have the garage outside the house. I don't see the point having 2 doors when you can have like one big one, so you can actually park your car much easier than that one, and not to worry if you have a big wider car. But again, that's me. Not exactly a high income neighborhood. As you can see, they have a lot of potholes. This is August 2024, so very recently. But it's nice, you know, it's livable. It's not something outrageous, let's call it like that. What else can we see here? Wow, it's a pretty good state. Let's go north. Let's go on the short line on the lake. Let's see what else can we find here. We have a railroad there, for God's sake. So they're doing pretty well in that department. I don't think we can have like, oh, okay, those are the rich people most likely. Let's check those guys. Or their apartment buildings. Oh no, they're like poor people in a way. They have, oh, that's really weird. They have all those houses, they're like social houses here. They have like all of them bounded together. They have a Dodge Charger here, which is pretty expensive car. And then they have the common parking lot here in the front. Looks more like a motel to me than a house. And they have a pool there. Never was a big fan of those, but I guess some of them, they like it. Me personally, not so much. Oh my god, look at this. The end of the road, you go into the lake. That looks pretty nice. And look at this guy. Have a nice house here. The alley, the road, looks pretty decent too. I mean, when you're living in a place like that, you don't worry that much about the road like this. It's pretty decent. But the houses are really small. Wow, even by the European standards, those are really small houses. By the American ones, probably like, and 25 miles an hour. What the fuck? Look at it. Look, let's go back. So, on the road like this, you get 25 miles an hour. And for the other road, that's double in the wide, so it's much wider. You get pretty much the same speed or lower. What the fuck? That's insane. But again, like I said, it is what it is those days. It's not much you can do so far, but at least talk about it and then we can take some action because it's nonsense. This is what? October 2023, and look at the gas prices. Unleaded fuel is $3.40 a gallon, which is pretty wild. And $4, $1 more for the diesel. Wow. Probably by now it's a bit higher because of the what's happening here, but I don't know. Usually, like, why not can be the gallon $1? That sound nice. I'm like, how much you pay for a gallon? It's $1. It's simple as that, and stays like that. That's the price. You don't change it. You don't know. You know. Always know that's the gas. That's the price of the gas. We will see after 2030. Maybe we can achieve that. Maybe it's more for the American. Oh, look, it's Halloween. At least for the American side. For the European ones, we can take $1.50 per gallon. It's pretty decent for us too. That's a nice water post or whatever they call those. Pretty interesting neighborhood here, I have to say. Wide road, have a few park cars there. We see another Trump sign there, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it's not a Trump sign, it's Russell sign, whatever that was. What else can we find here? Okay, so let's see. I like those curve. They have like the switch here. They're just not gonna have like lakes on the road. That's pretty good. We don't have that much in Europe, so we always gonna have like water on the street, which is not exactly pleasant. Here they block this road for whatever reason. They make a new one, or they let some pipe. I don't know. But it's in construction, that's for sure. And this is September 2025. It looks very nice now. Looks, all of them are fixed. Make it really, really nice. Some flag there that I don't know exactly which one is it. Not sure, but look at this. Speed limit is 25. So the same on that half away, half a widen of the street. So that's insane. It should be like at least 35, maybe even 50. 50, okay, 50 a bit too much. But 35, 40, easy manageable. But again, they kind of established the same one, which is kind of weird. Wow, want to check this one. Oh, I can. That's the end of the road right there. And again, those guys there, probably they have the best time of their life. They're kids and living there. They can enjoy pretty much the entire street from themselves. That's pretty good. That's a kid's dreams right there. What else can we find here? Oh, let's check. Not that many on the beach. I don't know why, but they don't seem to have that many for whatever reason. This one is pretty nice. I mean, like there's some sort of a local community park. I don't know, but look at this front lawn. I mean, look at those lawns. They're looking absolutely amazing. Again, no idea how they achieved that, but that would be like, unfortunately, it's not a very well paid job, but that would be like a really nice job to have, you know, a really well paid. Just cut the loans, and in the end, you have that satisfaction when you see them. What such a nice, good looking job you make. That's pretty good. I don't think this car is gonna fit easily to this gap, but for some reason they make this gap and have another parking lot in the back. Yeah, weird choices of designing their garage or the entrance of the garage, but they design it that way, so it is what it is. Wow, that's interesting. Also, front yard, front. I don't know. They have the garage there in the house. There are small properties here, as you can see, and the house is not so big, but some of them they are pretty decent size. But it's a nice neighborhood. I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Slow children at play. I don't see any children. And again, 25 miles an hour speed limit. This is at least a 35 easy. And we have those electric golf carts. Man, I really like those. It just makes such a great life with those. And we have the beach right there and a bench to see the lake. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. Not that much to complain there. Again, this is Ohio. Not exactly the, as you can see even in the data, the most richest state that you can visit or you can live in the United States. But keep in mind, those are United States standards, so they are very high. So I guess for the rest of the world, it's pretty much luxury here. It's a paradise. Yeah, I mean, like, we compare it with other countries that we see, especially in Africa, in third world countries. Ooh, I have no idea what those people, especially from Somalia, came in United States. More of them they stay now in oh, I forgot the name of the state, for God's sake. No. Wow, I forgot the name of the state. What the fuck is this one right there? How I forgot that? I don't remember that. They stay there and complain. They go on the social work when you can have those really nice place to live uh, in other states. And if you just involve and you got like, I know with the job is not that easy, but it's way better than it is from you came from. So yeah, it's kind of feel like a waste opportunity here. Minnesota, for God's sake. Oh God, I remember now. On the coastline, let's call it like that, not so bad, I have to say. I'm not sure exactly where those rich people live, but oh, I think we have a few here. I mean, they have a marina there, so have a nice cars there, interesting boats, pretty good housing too, and looking pretty good. Genuinely, they're looking pretty good. Yeah, the housing not exactly the high end, but still very nice. And it could be even one of those that they're looking better on the inside, they're looking on the outside, which for American housing, it's a very high possibility. They usually have a really nice design. Oh, we have those islands. Let's check them. Probably this is where the rich people are. They don't have street views there. Wow, that's a first for the America. I don't know. It's not going to be a private island, but we don't have street views here. That's a shame. Why not? This one unfortunately doesn't work. Oh no, it's working. Yeah, I think the rich people are living in these places. I mean, look at those boats here. I mean, they are really nice. I mean, always kind of interesting, especially in America when they say that everybody complains about the prices, everybody complains how the job market is doing, how everything is going expensive and all the stuff. And then you go there and you see those a lot of people on the boats, a lot of people on the yachts. And I mean, like, and you kind of stop wondering, like, what exactly is going on there? I mean, I get it. There is a difference between like 10% rich, 90% poor. But even in Ohio, like that, I mean, because it looks like they genuinely doing pretty well. I mean, like it's not that much to complain. And it's interesting. I would say it's interesting and weird in the same time. Maybe it's not exactly 90% with 10%. Probably start to be like more like 20-25 with the rest of them, like 70-75, maybe even lower some cases. But it does has to be more than just 10% reach. They're just like, I mean, like, where do you go? Oh, look at those streets. So straight. I mean, like, there are way too many rich people, I would say. Way too many. There's never way too many. Everybody wants to be rich, but I think there are much more than they just say. Or maybe we have to change the definition of the rich. I don't know. But it seems like everyone even here is doing pretty well. That's a nice house. Clearly, this is farmland. This barn since better days. 1914. What the fuck? Like in the First World War. But yeah, overall in the countryside looks pretty nice, pretty quiet. I would say this is what, June 2025, very recently. As you can see, the houses here are pretty spread around those farms. And we have even some small local communities here that they seems to do pretty decent too. And I can see in this guy yard has a pool there and probably has kids. Road work ahead. I highly doubt that. I think that's an old sign that they forgot to take it down. But it does look pretty nice. I mean, even this here, look at this. Genuinely pretty nice. Just not that much to complain. Yeah, probably not that much action happened there, but they have some bigger city around them. Hopefully they have lower gas price so they can actually go there. That's a pool right there, but I'm not sure. Everyone can see it from the street. Not exactly that much privacy there, so not exactly on my taste. But look at this, streets, pretty nice. Trees, pretty decent, although it will be a bit more be nice. Houses, pretty nice too. The land, a bit on the small side, but again, it is what it is. It's one of those more city area, let's call it like that. Ooh, that's a nice car there. And they're working on that, so probably they're gonna make it pretty nice. Yeah, I think even Ohio, they say like they're poor white people or something like that, but it seems to do pretty well to me, even here. Although again, like I always say, we're going randomly on the map. Let's go more closer here. Maybe we can find the poor whites here. Uh, but it seems to do pretty well even here. It does look pretty nice. I mean, look at this. This guy has a boat, for God's sake. I never been on the boat. And this guy has one in its driveway. Whoa, this is 2007 when they start making those street views. And even back then, they're looking very nice. And now they have some sort of construction working here. They're looking nice. I mean, come on. You can't complain that much. I mean, I get it. You always want more and you keep pressure. That's a good thing to do. But it's looking pretty nice. If that's this is how the countryside looks in America, wow, Europeans are way, way far from something like this. I mean, just genuinely, wherever they go, oh, they have some sort of a garden here, I guess. Or whatever. Oh, that's a nice truck there. Or an SUV, whatever that was. They're looking pretty good. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing those. I mean, like probably they're trying to repair the road like this, but they always look weird with those lines. I'm not sure. Probably it's cheaper than just repave it, but still. The roads here, I don't know exactly. Who the fuck says? I mean, so far at least. I mean, we have a lot to see. But so far they're looking. I don't know who says that. Look at it, the 35 miles an hour here. It's gonna be at least a 45 here, for God's sake. Who the fuck says that the American infrastructure is about to crumble? I didn't see that, for God's sake. I mean, like, wherever we go, so far at least, they're looking pretty good. With like 90% of them, they're looking really good. And yes, we see a few streets that they don't do that well, but I don't say like more than 10%. Even that probably it's a bit stretch. So far at least. Yeah, we have a lot of more state to visit, but so far they're doing very well. And this is very recently street views also, so I'm not sure exactly who the fuck keeps saying that the infrastructure is crumbling. Maybe in those higher populated states, but usually they have more taxes from there, so I guess they have the money to fix it. If they can afford it in Ohio, for God's sake, they can afford everywhere, pretty much. And yeah, we're gonna see some really poor state, like I guess like Missouri, I think is the poorest state in the United States. We didn't see that yet. But so far, Ohio looks very well. And that's from some sort of an interstate one. Looking pretty good. Let's check this one. Again, middle of nowhere, nice front lawn, whatever back lawn it is, backyard, front yard, I don't know. But the roads, again, pretty nice. I mean, in Europe, we don't have that in those regions. We start to fix them too, so we are not far away. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what those flags are, but and look at this. That's a nice small mailbox garden, I guess, and a flag garden. And see, you don't need pavement everywhere. You just have like stone ones, whatever that is. A nice house there on the hill. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I don't complain. I mean, so far I kind of like it, even in Ohio, for God's sake. Yeah, it feels like not much. Except this Range Rover here. Somebody is rich here, for God's sake. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like, wow, the favorite state to live in or something like that. No, not even close. We see better ones, but it's not as bad as I thought, for God's. I mean, like West Virginia was really bad in comparison with Ohio so far. And yeah, West Virginia was one of the roughest state that we saw so far. Here, yeah, it's not perfect. I'm looking at this house, kind of abandoned. It's kind of shame. It's like, you know, and this one the same. In the center of this small town. 25, for God's sake, exactly on that alley. What the fuck? See, I don't know who established those speed limits, but they have to jump higher than that. It's just insane to me. It's looking pretty decent. I don't know. Look at this. Let's check this road. Okay, this one is not exactly a good example. Not great, but it's not exactly a huge traffic on this one. And this is what, June 2024. So again, look at, they have some portion that they're doing pretty badly. I'm not saying it's all perfect, but overall, it is pretty good. And we don't have that many people. Look at this. I'm making on the main one. Let's see how the main one it is. The main one, it's better. Not perfect, but better. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, that's a really good road in Europe, by the way, in those countrysides. So yeah, the interstate, I'm not gonna go there. That's obviously is gonna be pretty nice. Here on the side, also pretty nice. Again, not that much to complain. A lot of green. They have a lot. I'm not sure exactly what they say. American. I mean, yeah, they pollute. They say them one of the most country that pollutes, but they looking pretty good. I mean, look how much nice and green they have. And yeah, maybe in the big cities it's gonna be some trouble, but here they seem to do pretty well. I mean, look at this guy here, just walking, have a dog, have a GMC. This is what, 2024, and again, June 2024, the same area, same year. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but they're looking pretty nice. Ooh, look at this house here. Unfortunately, it's an abandoned house, but they have a pool here from those guys. Looking pretty nice. I like it. I genuinely like it. Let's check this down here. Those small land houses, but again, pretty decent. And we don't see garbage. I mean, like, we see that a bit of more garbage in the black neighborhoods, but very, very rare. I don't see them that much. And that was like, what it was like in Washington, if I remember correctly. I think Washington it was, yeah. Oh, look at this house. Pretty nice. Look at those gardens. And a BMW right there, buddy. Yeah, looking pretty nice even here. I mean, like, nice house. Okay, this nice details there on the windows. Not sure exactly where you're gonna park there, more than a motorcycle, but or a bike, a bicycle, but they have one of those. I like the layout. It's just like not exactly in a straight line. You see them each and there, a house there, another one there, looking pretty good. The roads need some repairs here, but this is 2014, so I guess they kind of fixed it by now. At least I hope so. 2011, a bit better, yeah. And they fix a few potholes here, each and there. So I guess they kind of take care of that pretty decent. And it seems like a rich area, judging by how we see it from above and the layout of the houses and how many trees they have. It's not so bad. Not so bad at all, for God's sake. I mean, definitely a very American. Again, those flags, I don't know exactly what they are. They are state flag? I don't think so. They have like the seal, but it's not. Probably some sports team. They're doing really well here in those rich neighborhoods, I will call it, because they genuinely like, again, 25. No, that's at least 35 here. They have a lot of land and they have a lot of trees. When you have that, the house, you can rebuild it, improve it, do whatever you want, build a new one. They're looking pretty nice, pretty nice. Ooh, this is the main town probably here. Let's check these guys. A lot of concrete, old buildings. Not exactly a fan of them, but like I say, in America and US, kind of works a bit more than it works in Europe. But yeah, there is nobody wants to stay in even in an office in a building like that. It just doesn't make that much sense, especially when you have so much land. You look at this, you put those buildings, a few of them very tall, and then you have the more decent size. That's how it's supposed to be. Like this, look at this, how nice this one it is. That should be the limit to build an office and any building, not something like that horrible. Very nice for a office building, although that's probably for the residential living, but you get my point. Even here, look at this, much nicer, much more saddle, looking much better. What car they use, I don't know. For these street views, it does look better. It does look better when you have less height of the building. Let's go like that. Oh, they have a stadium here. TQL Stadium. Pretty big, and they have 2 soccer fields, which is like half of the soccer fields. They call it soccer in US. Yeah, usually call it football here, but because we gotta make those videos in US, we're gonna call it soccer, how they call it. But that is not soccer, it's football, for God's sake. Those houses are a bit jamming together here. As you can see, not that much space between the neighbors, which is not exactly, I'm not a big fan of that. But they have some decent livable space. I would say, wow, America is really big. Now we can imagine, like, okay, there are like 380 million people living in US. It kind of shows that. I mean, like, wherever we go here, it's always people and they're living pretty well. So if we have all this chaos that happens today, and we still manage to live like this, I think it's pretty good. I think like the future is gonna look very bright in the economic perspective. 100% they're gonna look very bright. In the privacy and all of that, yeah, that's gonna be a huge challenge for us. That's gonna have some fights there. Like I say, probably the next century is gonna look way better even in that one, and then starting to just making a small and small government. But I guess in a way that's probably the hardest period that we're gonna live right now, and in the future the more interesting one is gonna be, like I say, the near future is gonna be privacy. Once we fix that, we're gonna start asking that would be the challenges, not economic, not fighting each other. It's gonna be like, what is our purpose here, and the new frontier, which is gonna be space. Those one is gonna be the real challenges. The economic and those ones that they were gonna be already fixed by then. So yeah, which is pretty good. I mean, like, at least have like really nice life guaranteed, pretty much. But the thoughts that you're gonna try to find what is your purpose here, that's gonna be a really challenge, and it's gonna eat a lot of energy, let's say like that. So yeah, looking pretty nice, this house. The next generation, they're not gonna consider, like I say, this, oh, you used to work for money, that's so stupid. When you have time to think of the life, and it's gonna be like, we didn't. So, and it's your job. And trust me, everybody said like, work, and do not start questioning the life itself, because you're gonna go mad. That will be the real challenge that we're gonna have in the future, because we're gonna fix, like I say, everything in the economy, and everyone is gonna have everything they want, when they want, how much they want. But the real challenge is gonna be like, now what? Now we're doing, what is the purpose here? How are we supposed to live? What are we supposed to do? And an outlet, let's say, sidestep, I might say, is gonna be, what's a nice small dirt bike? Would be the space frontier. It's just kind of keep us busy. Oh, it's another Trump sign here. Oh, that's a really nice house. And look at those, the two same cars, just different colors. That's weird. Yeah, the frontier is gonna be like a really nice one. I mean, like, will be a really good step forward. But in more, it was gonna be like, seem like a step sideways than a step forward, because that's a really nice house here and have a lot of land between them. That's American style right there. Although I don't like it, they're pretty similar to each other, like made for the same construction, I would say. That would be like a really tough times for us, not economic ones. Like I said, those we already fixed it. Oh, this guy is skipping from he's staying on this car. The real tough time is gonna be like answering those fundamental questions. And Frontier is gonna be a really nice one also too. And after that, God knows. I don't know. So yeah, probably we're living to the last age of economic burdens. Let's call it like that. And most likely, if we play in our cards right, we're gonna see in our lifetime, probably in the next 50 years, fixing this economy nonsense and move on once for all. This one looks pretty good. I mean, this house not so well, but this street, I like it. I like the trees. This house also very nice. I mean, look at this. And look at this Mini here. Mini Cooper. It's 2024 May and looking sharp. I have to say, looking really sharp. It's a really nice, a small, nice car. You don't see those many in United States. But also, I have to say, okay, those are big cars, but also they have some small cars too. So Americans, look at this Corolla right there. Oh, just fuck this up. Let me go back. I mean, look at this Corolla right there. Pretty nice size car. A very, very reliable, and I don't know exactly how cheap they are in those days, but they used to be really cheap back in the day. So even in Europe, right now in Europe, it's extremely expensive. So we don't even touch one of those. We have other cheaper cars, but for the American market, that's pretty good. That's really good for them. Farmland here, 2009. Wow, can you imagine just In 2007, I think the Google started to make those street views, and how much changed since then. And when you think about like for gas, like 2007 doesn't seem to be like a long time ago, but now like saying like 2007, that's like vintage stuff. For God's sake. And it's like for us, like 2 weeks ago. It's like 2007 was 2 weeks ago. And yeah, life goes fast. And I know everybody's saying that we used to live better in 2007 and all of that, but I think we used to live more simpler, and we kind of go, we want to go back to that. But economic wise, I don't think we were that much better. We just were simple and we didn't know how the other half, which is like 10, 15%, 20%, whatever, used to live. But again, in order things to get better, it has to get worse. So that's the last stage of economic burdens. In a way, I guess enjoy it because you're not gonna have that problem in the future. All right, so far here looking pretty good. I mean, that's the most extreme car setup that I ever seen in my life. You have like one of the biggest car you can buy, a Ford, I think it's like F-150, 250, whatever it is, and then you get a Smart right here, and this is 2024. It's like you can fit this entire car probably in this bed. That's insane. That's the most weird setup that I ever seen so far. I have to say, I have no idea where those poor white are living, but if they live like this, they're not exactly poor. Because so far what I see, they're doing very well. They're doing very well. Roads pretty nice, house pretty nice. I mean, they're living better than West Virginia, for God's sake. Clearly much better. They're doing pretty well. Look how much farmland they have. Everybody kind of forget how big America is. Look at how much land they farm. How much food those guys produce, for God's sake. It's a lot. And they provide, look at this. Wow, they farm a lot of food, domestic food here that they have. There is no reason for them that in the future they're not gonna have like really extremely cheap prices. Like again, give it the food for free, for God's sake. It's too much. It costs too much to store. So we just give it away. That's much better. So yeah, I don't know how much we can stretch this video, because so far genuinely they look pretty good. I mean, wherever we go, they have even a small lake here. You can enjoy a nice house on the lake. Ooh, those guys have more than a nice house here. Those are like the really rich ones. I mean, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4th car garage. And the bonus here, so like 5. Those guys, that's a really nice house to have on this lake. I mean, even the small island there with the bridge, what the fuck? And here farming land, I guess, I don't know. Ooh, look at those cars. This Jeep one, not exactly, yeah, but this Lincoln one, whatever it is, looks pretty nice. And have the water. Always people were attractive to water, always. It is something embedded in our brains that we like water and live close to it. I mean, that's a nice house here too. Those are the more modern ones, but they're looking pretty decent too. This one more of the classic one, but again, pretty good. The lake is nice. I mean, the road is also even pretty good. I'm not sure exactly what they built here. Hopefully not a data center. Let me check that from the satellite images. No, they didn't still build anything there, but hopefully it's not a data center, just like farming land. That's much better. They're looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good. Oh, look at those classic barns there. Yeah, living in here would be nice. Have like the end of the street right there. Oh, look at those golf carts. 10 miles an hour. Fuck off. That's a really nice house here. I like those windows. Ooh, look at this one. Not that much privacy and pretty close to each other, but that's a really nice view. Oh, this one doing better here. Much more privacy here. Oh, look at this. I like those trees. They're looking pretty good. That's a nice Kia right there. This is what, October. Man, they're looking pretty nice. I don't know. I don't know why they say that they're living like in poverty, but I don't see any poverty, to be honest. I only see a great lifestyle. It's a BMW. Not exactly a great choice of the car, but I guess when you have money to burn, you just fire up that barbecue, that grill. Wow, that's a really nice house here too. I mean, that's the end of the street. No, I don't think they have a dead end here. It would be really nice to have a dead end street there and actually enjoy everything. Oh, look at this one. Very nice, very sharp. And they have a marina that close. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where are those poor whites, but I can find them. So far, so good, I have to say. So far, so good. They're doing a pretty good job, yeah. And again, if that's is the worst that they can offer in Ohio, I will take it. Doesn't seem too bad. I will not move to the West Virginia. That was looking pretty fucked up, but here, not so bad at all. I have to say, not so bad at all. Oh, that's a nice Lincoln. And it's nice to see like sedans and regular cars with smaller engine because you don't need the biggest of the biggest. And unfortunately, they're not that cheap anymore. But when it used to be cheap, they're like, that's a pretty good deal. I will take that deal. But here, yeah, now again, the last decade, let's call it like that, or maybe the last 10 years of struggling in economics. After that, always kind of feel like, we feel like that always kind of get better after it get worse. Even with the financial crisis, with everything, it got better and better and better. It just kind of focus on the bad things, which is pretty interesting, pretty good in a way because I have no idea what the fuck they love Halloween way too much, those guys. And this is August, by the way, so I'm not sure exactly what's happening there. But yeah, always it's get worse and then it's get better and better, and we can't forget about how worse it used to be, and we just like kind of past that. We just not like, we're living much better than we lived back then, even before we had the worst time. So I guess that's a step forward, and this is how we evolve. It sucks. It's not pleasant, but again, like I say, this is probably the last decade of economic struggle in the human history, at least in the Western world. That's what we're talking here. So now, prepare for the big questions, like what is the meaning of the life? What is supposed to do here? How we can conquer space and all of that. That should be the main focus after we fix these economics. Yeah, I don't think we need to spend that much time. I mean, like, wherever I go here in Ohio, it's again speed limit 25. What the fuck? It's at least 35 here. Wherever I go, it looks very nice. Hard to believe why anybody would say that it's a poor state, or I mean, even by the data that suggests that the household income is like 36 in the country, and it looks like this. Take it. I mean, I will take it. It does look pretty nice. Oh, look at this, a nice Beetle here. Wow, that's really nice. Even the house is really nice. It's a really nice car to have, like a classic one. You have a regular car that you drive every day. It could be an electric car, no problem. But then you have like such a nice classic one. It's like, ooh, that's how it's supposed to be. And that guy lives his best life. Oh, Mitsubishi Eclipse, I think they call it this one. I don't remember exactly, but the weird things about those cars, weird things. They were, I mean, like, you can expect to be like convertible with the rear wheel drive. They were like front wheel drive. I don't remember if they make an all wheel drive version, but the 2-wheel drive version was the front wheel drive. A bit of the weird of choice, but now I see it through different eyes, which is like, yeah, I don't care that much as long as it drives nice. I'm fine with that. So, but for American market, usually when you have the 2-wheel drive car, usually it's gonna be a rear wheel drive car. So yeah, but I'm really nice, and probably I drove all my whole life. I drove just front wheel drive cars, and they're more than enough. In some cases, I mean, like in most of the cases, you don't even need a all-wheel drive, even in those, let's say, high states like Maine and Vermont, when they probably snow a lot. You don't need all-wheel drive if you have a front-wheel drive car. The rear-wheel drive, yeah, might need it one. An all-wheel drive car, but for the front ones, it's more than enough for 90% of the job that you drive. Probably even more than that. Nice, quiet streets. Look at this. Kids playing outside. That's pretty nice. That's a really nice house too. I mean, pretty good. And this is what? September 2012. Pretty interesting times back then. Yeah, I don't think we need to check more than that. I mean, again, I have to keep saying this. I'm always going randomly on the map. I'm not choosing the good side. I'm not choosing the bad side. I never were in the United States. I have no idea how things are there. That's why I make those videos, to see how those guys actually live. And I have to say, oh, they have a golf course there. That's pretty nice. So far, they're living pretty well. We have a snow one in January, but it feels like it was made by a third party company or whatever guy decided to go here in the snow. Looking pretty nice. Looking pretty nice too. I mean, yeah. Not much to say bad about things about them. Good roads. Look how much it changes when you change. Look at this. Have like a bad weather, then it's like a good weather. How nice it feels. It does make it much better. Yeah, I think we see enough. It's really nice, really good. They did. Even in Ohio, which again, it's not one of those high states, high income states. They done outstanding fucking job. Let's go. It was outstanding fucking job. Ooh, those are like, what the fuck? That's a Lada Niva? That's a Russian car? I don't know, something similar to that. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I don't think it is. Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. Hard to judge the size when you have that monstrosity of the car right next to it. But yeah, overall, it is nice. It is nice. Even in a goddamn Ohio, it's nice. And this is what? 2013. Wow, this is more of a poor area, actually, but we see that in other states, so not exactly surprising, I would say. But overall, I mean, when you move away from that one, a bit jamming everyone together here, but still pretty decent place to live. Oh yeah, this one is much better. Yeah, I mean, wherever you go here, you're gonna find some nice places. Yeah, I don't think you need to stay too much here. We just see it. They're doing pretty well for themselves. Okay, it's a motorcycle guy. It does look nice. It does look nice and it's worth it. It's not that bad as I thought, that's for sure. It genuinely looks pretty nice. I mean, look at this. Pretty nice. Yeah, I think we can finish here. If you live in Ohio and watch this video, just leave a comment and say how things really are there, because like I say, I'm not choosing the good sides, I'm not choosing the bad side, just going randomly on the map. So far, it looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. Ohio looks pretty good to me, although like I say, they don't have that much high ranking on the household income in the United States, but they still managed to do a pretty decent job. So yeah, check the videos that I make and see you next time.